Hi, I'm Oksana Orchid, and this is my digital presentation, Cultural Miscommunication, Applying Goffman Theory to Practice. This presentation illustrates the situation of simple miscommunication that happened between a CEO of one US engineering company and his Chinese partner. Using Goffman's concept of impression management, framing, footing, and face, I will demonstrate how companies who work with foreign business partners can avoid similar situations in the future. Please note that I intentionally kept the name of the CEO and his company anonymous to conceal their identities. Given presence in the business world is a wonderful alternative to having said verbally, "I appreciate doing business with you. Thank you," or the likes. It's definitely get the messages across, and it's definitely fun to receive a gift. What a wonderful way to communicate, one would think. This is exactly what one American CEO had in mind one day when he asked his office manager to send a gift to his Chinese partner. He did not specify the gift and fully relied on his assistant's choice. The gift to the Chinese businessman was supposed to act as a form of non-verbal communication, which would tell how much the CEO appreciated their business relationship. In fact, they had just finished working on a mutual project together, and sending a small gift looked like a good idea to show appreciation. The office manager picked a nice Swiss Army knife, wrapped it, attached a simple thank you card with the CEO's name to Chinese businessman name, and that was it. Present was sent. Couple weeks later, the CEO received an email from the Chinese partner that stated that the Chinese company deeply regretted ending their business relationship, but respectfully accepted the CEO's decision. If you could only see the face of the CEO at that moment, totally confused. Apparently, while giving a gift is much appreciated and it's the thought that counts, there are some gifts that are absolute no-nos in China, Hong Kong, or Taiwan. Out of the top 5 absolute no-nos gifts, the office manager chose one mistakenly. Giving sharp objects like knives and scissors that are used to cut things symbolize that you want to sever a friendship or relationship. Needless to say, as soon as the CEO received such a confusing email, he called his foreign partner and asked for the explanation. Finally, after getting the clarification, the CEO had to deeply apologize for his office manager's carelessness in choosing a gift and in general for this miscommunication between the two parties. According to Goffman, with impression management, people and companies use verbal and non-verbal communication to strategically create the desired impression. The audience then check upon the validity of what is said in word and what is expressed by other means. A gift, as an example of a non-verbal communication, was intended to create the desired positive image for the CEO. The message was supposed to show his good intention and appreciation. Instead, because of lack of verbal or written communication and because of the cultural meaning of the gift, the effect from the received message was completely the opposite. The Chinese businessman got the wrong impression as he could not check the validity and meaning of the message that was lacking additional cues. Framing the message is very important because for Goffman, the framing of activity establishes its meaningfulness for the individual. There was no real framing for this message, that is why miscommunication had happened. Giving a gift as a form of non-verbal communication without additional notes or explanation on a gift choice was a bad idea, especially after working together on a project. A dry and short thank you, together with a symbolic present, was completely misinterpreted by the Chinese man. Most likely, he thought that the US partner decided to say diplomatically goodbye to him. This is why he only sent a short thank you and chose the knife to cut ties in the future. The footing, in other words, the overlapping roles of the author, animator, and principal, is important to consider when we evaluate the message content. The principal of the message was the CEO. He gave a task to send something nice to his foreign partner. The author and the animator of the message were the office manager, who picked the wrong gift and sent it by email with limited information provided. Sadly, the CEO did not check what kind of gift was sent on behalf of his name. Face is the public self-image that individuals want to claim for themselves. Upon gift reception, we see a negative impact of on the CEO's and his company's image. The gift demonstrated carelessness of the senders of the gift. In addition to that, the CEO did not follow up on his message to see how it was interpreted overseas. However, after receiving an email and finally talking personally on the phone, the CEO sincerely apologized for this mistake. His immediate response and deep apologies were face-saving acts that helped him to get his positive image back. What could have been done differently to prevent the company from the possible image threat? Impression management. When companies work with people from other countries, it's important to show respect to their cultures and traditions. It becomes critical to do some level of research in order to get to know better foreign customs. To create the desired message or image, the message should be well constructed, and a lot of attention should be paid to even small details. In our case, the CEO could simply provide his employees with cultural awareness training about Chinese formal business etiquette. That would help him to avoid cultural misunderstanding and miscommunication. Framing. Where there is no verbal communication available for the recipient, well-constructed framing appears to be essential. Sending a minimalistic note to the foreign partner is very risky, as we saw. The office manager could send a well-written, detailed letter that not only describes the meaning of the gift, but also expresses sincere appreciation of doing business together and the hope for working together in the future. When different cultures are involved, it is better to over-communicate with more details rather to help avoid miscommunication, even for a short period of time. Footing. There was no personal touch in the message provided, and it was written in an ambiguous tone. This content, or lack thereof, did not create trustworthiness and pleasant interaction between the sender and the receiver of the message. The CEO should have worked closer with the office manager on the gift and the message. A personal signature and warm wishes in the letter would be a nice addition to the gift to express deep appreciation of the relationship. Faith. I think the CEO did a great job to save face in this situation. I would only add here that the follow-up of any message is important in general, as it would reaffirm the correct intentions of the message. If our CEO personally follow up on the gift through personal communication or via email, then Chinese businessmen wouldn't have time to question the meaning of the gift. In conclusion, so what can other organizations learn from this presentation? First of all, I would like to emphasize that many people, just like Goffman, pay attention to both the symbolic value of what is said and done and the more abstract forms of social life, keeping in mind that everything matter is much better than to underestimate the value of small detail, especially when companies work with foreign partners. Every action, every word, and every detail counts. Being effective communicators who constantly work on the desired image and reputation, it's critical to understand the audience and know how to encode the message to reduce misunderstanding by the receiver. Organizations should also seek out feedbacks from the receiver on how the message is understood and attempt to correct any misunderstanding or confusion as soon as possible. Here are my references. Thank you for listening to my presentation and thank you for your time.